the White House just went dark. It kicked out all of the press. It's called calling a lid because they're supposed to have transmitted to it right now the Epstein resolution from the House and the Senate in order for Donald Trump to sign it. The Epstein resolution to release those files should be on Donald Trump's desk right now, and we don't know what the heck is happening. He should have signed it, but he's kicked out the press. They've called the lid. They've shut down access at this point. Caitlin Collins from CNN says the White House just called the lid, meaning there are no more public events expected, with no word at all on whether Trump signed the Epstein bill today. We know that the bill was transmitted by the House to the White House on Wednesday, but the White House is not answering any questions at all, whether Trump has signed it or if he plans to do so on camera, or what the hell is the status. Here's what a White House reporter from CNN just said. We don't even have the basics, though. It was supposed to, the resolution, the bill, was supposed to be transferred to the White House, but the White House communications department saying nothing. They're saying go away, and they've basically closed access from the press to the White House right now. Here's what she says. Play this clip.
So where is the bill? Is it at the White House?
Pamela, that's the question we've all been trying to get to the bottom of. We have about 10 White House producers and reporters who have been asking all of their sources, when is he going to sign the bill? Is the bill even at the White House? All to at least mostly radio silence. Stephen Miller, the deputy chief of staff, was caught by reporters, asked when President Trump was going to sign this bill, and he said he had no update on that at this time. And just a reminder, it wasn't just one White House official, it was a number of White House officials who said, alongside President Trump himself, that he would sign this bill when it hit his desk. Now, we were told that after it was sent over by the Senate, that the process of getting it here to the White House could take a few hours, but that was hours and hours and hours ago. And we still have no reaction, no answers to the questions of whether or not it's even here, whether or not it's even made it to President Trump's desk. So of course, this is raising even more questions as to, in particular, is he going to actually sign this bill? Again, White House officials and the president himself have said they've committed to him signing it. Then the big question becomes, if he does in fact sign it, what's actually released and when is it released? I've been told by White House officials President Trump isn't going to stand in the way of any of these documents being released. But again, we still don't even have the basics of whether or not the bill is here at the White House. So
now, earlier, Stephen Miller, one of Donald Trump's propagandists, was holding a press conference, and he immediately punted on the question of, is Donald Trump signing the Epstein file resolution right now? What's happening to it? And you'll see how kind of nervous and scared he gets. I'll have to direct you to the communications team here. Well, the communications team has told all the White House reporters nothing, and they haven't answered a single question. Here's what Miller said. Play this clip.
Is the president signing the Epstein files bill, and is it at his desk already? So any questions about that, I have nothing to add to today. I think the White House comm shop's already answered all those questions, yes?
At the same time as that Miller press conference, we heard from the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune. A reporter asked him, so Democrats say that the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi may slow walk the release of the Epstein files by citing ongoing investigations, and as the MeidasTouch reported yesterday, national security issues, even though there's no national security issues, and an ongoing investigation is because Donald Trump ordered an ongoing investigation into his political enemies, but the DOJ said over the summer that there were no ongoing investigations. So what do you make of it, Thune? Here, play this clip.
Now that the Congress has passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, overwhelming votes in both chambers, Democrats say that they think the Justice Department, Pam Bondi, may slow walk the files release, citing ongoing investigations. Would it be a mistake for the administration to hold back these files, given the overwhelming expressions, the sentiment by the Congress here?
Well, I trust the judgment of the Justice Department to ensure that whatever files they release protect the victims, clearly, and I think there are other items, perhaps materials that were acquired through grand jury trials that perhaps they will have to make some decisions about, but I think they'll make the right decisions. I think the clear intent was in both the House and the Senate and the bill now that I don't know if the president signed it yet or not, but is to get the information out there. And I think, as you saw, there was a big vote yesterday in the House, and it was unanimous here in the Senate to do that.
Did you hear what Thune said right there? I trust the judgment of the DOJ. Really? The same DOJ that we saw in court today in the Eastern District of Virginia with Lindsay Halligan, who the federal judge uncovered. She basically provided a fake indictment to the court that a grand jury never saw. Really, the same DOJ that justified unlawfully sending people to concentration camps in foreign countries, the same DOJ that had the Epstein influencers show up at the White House back in February and hold up a binder that said the complete Epstein files. And that was one of the first moments too, when people were like, oh, y'all are going to cover this up. Y'all think we're stupid, huh? That the DOJ that lies about everything, and that is a personal criminal cartel racket for Donald Trump, literally the PPP, the Pedo Protection Program, out of the DOJ. The same DOJ who transferred Ghislaine Maxwell from a maximum security facility to a minimum security facility, and they treat her like a VIP after ordering the Bureau of Prisons to do so. Yeah, that DOJ, really? Anyway, Pam Bondi gave a press conference where she said, we'll continue to follow the law. That's what we'll do with the release of these files. We'll follow the law. Just release the damn files. That's the law. Release the files. Stop treating people like we're stupid. Stop covering up a child sex trafficking ring. Here, play this clip.
Madam Attorney General, do you mean that you will provide all the files by 30 days?
We will follow the law. The law passed both chambers last evening. It has not yet been signed, but we will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
Madam Attorney General, the DOJ statement earlier this year saying that the files would not release mentioned the fact that the review of the documents and the evidence did not suggest that any additional investigation of third parties was warranted. What changed since then that you launched this investigation?
Information that has come for information. There's information new information, additional information. And again, we will continue to follow the law, to investigate any leads. If there are any victims, we encourage all victims to come forward. And we will continue to provide maximum transparency under the law. Then
on Fox, you see their attempt to further the cover-up narrative. Fortunately, we have Jessica Tarlov on the show, The Five, pushing back at these Fox propagandists. And so here's the exchange between Tarlov and Jesse Waters, where she goes, why do you think Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted child sex trafficker, was moved by Donald Trump away from the maximum facility where she belongs, where she should be rotting, to a minimum security facility where she's treated like a VIP by the Bureau of Prisons and by the warden who's helping her prepare commutation papers? Here, play this clip.
Why do you think Ghislaine Maxwell is in a minimum security prison and is being waited on basically hand and foot?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Well, that's
but
beautiful.
I do know this,
I love
Jessica.
that you don't know and
you
you
will
don't
find
care,
out
but it's inconvenient
that the
for
FBI
you.
will be embarrassed because they investigated a lot of these allegations and didn't do anything about it. The DOJ will be embarrassed because they were the ones that cut the sweetheart deal. JP Morgan, all the bankers will be embarrassed.
Yeah, I'd love
a lot of Democrats and a lot of and the royal family will be embarrassed.
Well,
so
they definitely already are.
I think Donald Trump is probably saying there's going to be a lot of innuendo out there. You really want to see it? You really want to see it? Are you sure? Okay, here it is. And it's not going to look good.
And as Tom Nichols says, that's how it's going to be. Not even the pretense of rationalization. Just saying, I don't know, I don't care, I don't know, I don't care. They're little freaking babies. In fact, they're way worse, these Fox propagandists and these Trump cabinet members covering up for a child sex trafficking ring. The biggest child sex trafficking ring they're covering up before our eyes. Jesse Waters then has the following exchange with Tarlov. Play this clip.
And he said, I don't want to have anything to do with this guy right here. He didn't talk to him or ever see him again because he knew what Epstein was up to. And everybody in Palm Beach knew what Epstein was up to. It was an open secret, Jessica. He was trying to steal masseuses from Mar-a-Lago. He caught him cold and he said, get out of here because Trump's smart. because he's a good brand ambassador and he knows Epstein is bad for business.
Now, going to the halls of the Capitol building, here are two heroes right here, Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna and Republican Congressmember Thomas Massie, and they're asked about how it's expected now that Trump and the DOJ will be claiming an ongoing investigation exception, and that's why they're not going to produce the Epstein files, or they're going to slow roll the production or not show anything with Trump's name on it. Here, play this clip.
Well, Congressman Massie, Attorney General Pam Bondi repeatedly said today that she would follow the law when it comes to releasing the Epstein files. Do you believe that means the Justice Department will release all of the Epstein files within 30 days?
They're eventually going to have to. Look, there is an exception for ongoing investigations, but you can't have 2 or 3 ongoing investigations and claim that you're not going to release any of the Epstein files, because our bill, the law that she says she's going to follow, says that the exceptions for ongoing investigations have to be narrowly tailored to the investigation. They would have to jeopardize the investigation, and they can only be temporary. So she doesn't have carte blanche to withhold a whole tranche of files. And I heard her say tens of thousands or 30,000 documents have been released. We're not counting by the number of documents that have been released. We're counting by the number of perpetrators who have been indicted.
Ro Khanna reminds everybody, though, that it is a criminal offense for any FBI official to obstruct. So, anyone who's a part of this chain of command, who's part of the cover-up now, you're going to go to jail. There will be a time without Trump, and you're going to go to prison. Here, play this clip.
The question, though, is whether all the files will be released. I am concerned because Pam Bondi in the past said there's nothing more to release. Now suddenly she's saying, well, we're going to follow the law and there's more to release. So obviously there was a contradiction. But I do believe that they will ultimately release the files because we have upped the stakes. Because my bill with Congressman Massie has passed, now it is a criminal offense for any career official at the Justice Department or the FBI not to release these files. It's a contempt of Congress. So it's no longer, oh, we just don't feel like doing it. Now you're violating federal law, and that's something very serious.
Notable as well that one of the Epstein survivors over here, and she was a Trump supporter. Here's what she had to say. Here, play this clip. Haley Robson, let's play it.
If I could sit down with President Trump, it would be to look at him and say, where did we go wrong? Who owns you? What happened from last year to now? What event or what person or what influence changed the fact that you campaigned in 2024 on releasing the Epstein files? And how do we get back to the person I voted for and put in office? Because I feel extremely betrayed.
Also, Donald Trump's approval is sinking right now as a result of the cover-up of the Epstein files and the fact that things are far less affordable. Play this clip.
A new Reuters poll shows President Trump's approval rating falling to its lowest level. This is apparently because of prices and the Epstein files. His approval rating sits at 39%. That is down 9 points from when he took office.
And then finally, you have MAGA Republican Congressmember Tony Gonzalez say this. Play this clip.
And once again, this is the Democrats trying to play a part and trying to divide the Republican Party. It's not going to work. We're going to stay on message. We have the president's agenda to deliver. And ultimately, there are American lives at stake that need help, both economically, security-wise, and other parts of it. So in this case, I think it's great, and I'm glad it's going to the president's desk, and I'm sure he'll sign it swiftly.
Really? You think he'll sign it swiftly, Gonzalez? You think? For real? Sure, buddy. Sure. They're all part of the PPP, the Pedo Protection Program. These MAGA Republicans are covering up a child sex trafficking ring. How sick is this? We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.